Me and my girlfriend just hit 1 year. So we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary by going to St. Augustine, Florida. By the time this probably gets published, we're probably going to be in St. Augustine. But the main reason I made this video is because I wanted to tell you guys some advice about how I ended up getting to a year. Because, I'm going to be honest with you, it is really not easy to hit a year. That's like kind of the hardest part for me at least, and I've never hit a year before, if that can tell you anything. Keeping a relationship going is really hard, especially after the honeymoon stage. But I will tell you guys things that's gotten me far with our relationship. And I'm going to go into it with the first one starting right now. People have trauma. If you don't have major traumas, you probably have some type of trauma. And that trauma is going to appear in a relationship. It might not show up first, it might not show up even later, but it's going to show up eventually. Rather, it's maybe you had issues at home, maybe you got abused, maybe you had something really bad happen to you actually. Regardless of whatever it is, it shows in a relationship. That's potentially what ruins a lot of relationship, is never getting that stuff solved. If you guys are willing to communicate with each other about the things that you have went through, it really does help. And for the men out there, stop being all hard, especially if you're young. Stop being all hard. I get it. You don't want to come off as really upset, like you're really emotional. I get all that. But look, you have emotions too. And you have trauma too. Everybody has trauma. But one thing is, you got to figure out a way to get across all these traumas that you have. It's going to be hard. And potentially, me talking about my girlfriend about these traumas and working it out and stuff, it actually really helped me significantly as a person. I'd even say it changed my whole life. But I will tell you this, a lot of things that happen in a relationship, your trauma and everything, all the baggage you have will follow through with it. So if you are willing to work those all out, then your relationship will last a long time. But if you always consistently let them get in the way, your relationship will have a hard turn, or will be really hard for you, or for her, or maybe for both of you guys. They're both not solved. I think trips are really, really good for a relationship because it really gets you guys really close. Not in a way of it's romantic, it's all, no. I mean, one-on-one with you and your girlfriend. Every time me and my girlfriend went on a trip, we went on about 6 or 7 trips. We went to Fairhope, we went to Atlanta, we went to Tampa. Well, that's kind of all where we went, to be honest. We went to Destin, but what is Destin, you know? These trips actually taught me a lot. It wasn't the fact of a romantic relationship. It wasn't about that. It was actually to get to know her more. I felt that when we were traveling, that's when I was really more close to her and that things just felt more real, like more connecting, and it just felt really nice. It's something you just gotta experience for yourself. Now look, if you don't have money to go out and about, go to Atlanta or Tampa or maybe across the country, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not asking for that to even happen. I'm not even saying that it's required, but it does help. But it doesn't even have to be a far distance. It has to be far enough to where y'all just have some alone time together. Y'all are going out away from the usual, you know? If you live in Destin, maybe going to Alabama, which might be actually really far. Maybe going to Alabama, maybe the outskirts of Alabama. Going somewhere that is unfamiliar, just to both of y'all. Even get a hotel, go visit your parents, go do whatever. All that stuff can really help a relationship. And not just by the obvious, but because it's more connecting. Both sides need to open up to each other about everything. Truthfulness and also how you feel about situations. Because if you plan to be with this woman or man for a long time or forever, this is going to play a huge role. That small thing that really icks you or maybe gets you annoyed, that's going to appear later on, and it's going to really get bad then. Let's say I yawn too much, right? This is an example. This doesn't actually happen. I yawn too much, and I yawn really loud, and my girlfriend gets a little bit annoyed, you know? But she doesn't get mad or anything. She's just like, oh, why does he have to do that? Over time, of her not saying anything, it's going to really break her boiling point. Like, really, there's going to be one time where she just gets mad and yells at me for yawning. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm just yawning. Like, exactly. But it can happen with anything, to be honest. That's just something dumb. But to be honest with you, it's always going to be stupid. Chances are, anything that happens, it's always going to be stupid. Whether it's a guy or a girl. You're going to find something that really irritates you or makes you mad or something that you just don't like. It's going to happen. And eventually, you're going to have to come to face that challenge with each other. And eventually, it might get better. Who knows? But you got to keep working on it and keep getting the issue fixed. Notice how most of the stuff I'm talking about involves communication? That is one of the foundations, if not the foundation, for a relationship. Do not let that brush over your head, because I am being so... Cover your ears, children. Cover your ears, people who don't want to hear this, because I'm about to curse. I am being so fucking dead ass about that, because communication is very fucking crucial with this. Communication is very crucial. If communication fails, the relationship is most likely not going to last that long as you expect. So communication is always going to be your foundation. Or else the house is going to cave in eventually. If you're in a relationship long enough, then there's one thing that's going to happen. You guys are going to argue, and then you're going to want to keep arguing about it. Or maybe you're the type to argue about it, then stay away and never bring it back up. Either way, it's not good. At least with me personally. One thing a relationship really needs is argument management. You guys are arguing. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave the situation, or are you going to keep talking about it until, well, barely anything gets settled, and now you're both mad at each other? Because sometimes that's going to happen. There will be situations where you'll be able to talk about it, but there will be other situations where you might not be able to find a resolution to it, even if it just doesn't work out that way. There are times, though, where things are getting really heated and you guys want to get this stuff figured out. There are times where you're going to have to take breaks for a couple minutes, maybe an hour, but enough to where you can come back and not say something you'll regret. For example, you guys are arguing. You guys are talking about something that's not getting resolved. It's getting heated. Now, at that point, and respectfully too, because this could really be manipulated. I'm gonna be honest with you. You gotta word it correctly. You know your girlfriend. You know your boyfriend. You need to tell them, hey, look, I just need a little bit of time, but I'm gonna come back to this issue in a couple minutes, couple hours, but I wouldn't even go further than that because it kind of needs to be solved then. But at least talked about to come to some common ground. But common ground, and also revisiting the situation soon to where you guys are both feeling a little bit better. Because arguments are going to happen, and it's going to take a really long time until it starts becoming a little bit less, or maybe it might be easy for you. But regardless, it will happen, and that will be one of the biggest things to get around. By the time this video gets published, I'm probably in St. Augustine or traveling to St. Augustine, depending on when I want to post it. I just wanted to tell you guys, I really am really happy to be in this relationship. It has taught me a lot. And to be honest, I could make a whole nother video about it, but I kind of can't until I see some, questions pop up, or maybe comments or whatever, Anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate my girlfriend for, being okay with me making this video. Although I don't give a shit. All right, I need to leave because it's kind of getting a little annoying. I'm ready to go. Me and my girlfriend just hit 1 year, so we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary by going to St. Augustine, Florida. It's probably right next to Jacksonville. I don't know much about Florida, as most people might think. But I will tell you that getting the right person, and also keeping it. What am I talking about? Oh, I suck at relationship topics now. Ever since I settled down, I guess. So my main topics are just gonna be about why. Oh, nope, not that either. Especially if you're a teenager, which is normal, but I'm gonna tell you some things of how to keep your relationship going a lot longer unless you want it, Oh, it's been a long day. I haven't done this in a minute. You're trying to hit a year, which is really hard, and there's a lot of things you need to know about hitting a year's worth of relationship. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta restart. This is all just terrible. If you hit a 1 year mark, then you know that there's a lot of information that you need to know to keep it going. That also didn't make any sense. I didn't even start the video and I have like 6 of these shits. Eventually, it might get better. Who knows, but you gotta keep working on it and keep getting the issue fixed. I kind of blacked out real quick. I gotta redo some of that real quick. Hold on. I blacked out. I was thinking about basketball at the YMCA while I was talking. Hopefully that didn't sound too bad though. Sorry if I didn't tell you to cover your eyes then, because cover your ears, right? But both of those things are that thing is really crucial. Let me pause. Cursing too much where I'm really getting into it. There you go again. So at the time of making this video, or not the time of making this video, now I gotta get ready. I gotta go to this hotel.